Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pedro and Hannibal YouTube channel. Now, we're going to do something right. I'm going to do something right now to make Pedro a little happier
Oh shit!
because
Here
we
we
had a
go.
long day.
I hate
So
when
we're
he
going
does that. I hate when
to,
Hannibal just drops
actually, I
stuff
got
on
nothing.
me.
I
I
got
have
a,
no
I
idea.
have nothing new. It's just, this is going to be old. This is be old content here.
All right,
Remember this back in the day? How about
I
that? Huh?
do remember that. That was a police officer somewhere in like Italy or some shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she stopped crime, huh? You get with that?
you could
Or
stop
maybe
a bus
some
with that. I remember
yeah, well,
that.
her, she's changed up a little bit and obviously, yeah, this is old.
That's like I think that might be my favorite because that's just
that's
crazy,
your,
bro.
yeah, yeah, a
That's
little bit.
yeah,
This is a good segue of what we be talking about. Actually, we got a little bit of everything about
we do.
the trials and tribulations of men and women.
Mm,
Who has it worse?
mm,
Who? I think we all stressing out, right? Of
yeah.
relationships and all that type of thing. So there's a few um stories that we will talk about, but first we get a chance to talk about the some of the NBA stuff. Did you see Victor Wembanyama? I think I pronounced it right.
Excuse me. Yeah. Um.
The first
Excuse.
game, everyone said that he
Yeah,
was
he
the
didn't.
worst. He was Greg Oden. Then the next one, he's good now. So like
Yeah,
that
it's
went.
listen, it's a summer league. This is a young man. The first game, it is what I mean. Come on, yeah, it looked good. 27-12, I think the other night.
Yeah,
That's what That's what they're expecting.
exactly.
His expectations are high, right?
Yeah,
So it's good. I mean, I'm seeing some good summer league things. I haven't watched the game. I'm seeing highlights and watching like recaps and things like that. But it's interesting. I saw they unveiled the in-season tournament trophy. Did you see that? It's
oh
like the
yeah. So
new.
all right.
That's
Give me
interesting.
give me your quick take on that one. Like, what do you think? It's gonna happen? I guess in December
Hmm.
that time. What do you think? What do you NBA Cup?
Um, I th- I'm for it. What I like about the NBA in relation to the other major sports is they're willing to try different things, different playoff formats, different this, different that. I think it's interesting. I'm for it. It's going to be unique. Um, I think baseball's also has tried some things, and some of it's working, some of it isn't. Football doesn't need to do anything because they're the king, right?
Yeah.
Hockey doesn't change a lot, and soccer doesn't change too much. But I'm for it. I think it's good.
I don't know. Listening to the radio, and thank you guys for already coming through. What's up,
Shout out to
Hector?
Hector. What up, Hector?
Hope everything is good with you, sir. Uh I've been. It's kind of. It's all about the players. Will they care about this?
Mm.
Will they put in the effort? Is it more like a joke? I mean, I was listening to the radio earlier today, and they were like, "What team's really going to win, and how are they going to handle it, and
Yeah.
who's going to take it super seriously?" And it was kind of like a joke. They were like, "Oh yeah, the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're going to make a big deal if they win. It's like they won a championship, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like Anthony Edwards is going to make a big speech, like." So it's already being mocked to a certain extent. Someone said, "Oh yeah, Grizzlies going to take it seriously," and then John Morant is going like John Morant's going like. So it's not being really taken seriously yet.
Yeah.
But like you said, NBA does take chances. They do try to. They have to try to make the season interesting. There's
Yeah.
too many games. 82 games is too long because they don't want to play anymore. Like they don't want to play all 82 games. This is not the 90s where it was basically expected for you to be there 82 games, at least most of it. So they got to keep it exciting. So I understand that. I like the play-in tournament. That's pretty good. All right, who says that?
I
I mean,
think
everyone
so.
says that's great.
It's more basketball. You're giving
Yeah,
more teams opportunity, right? I think it's good. It's more drama. It's similar to the NCAA because it's kind of like you got to win and you're in, but if you lose, you
right.
get one more shot. Like it's cool. It's different.
Yeah, and
Um,
that part works. So we'll see. It depends on do they take this seriously? Is this enough like a bragging rights? Now they're gonna win a cup.
yeah,
Are we gonna mock it or are we gonna really embrace it? I guess we'll see when it gets there. I know each player gets $500,000 for
that's a lot of
winning.
money. Even if you're a million, I mean, that's a lot of money for a lot of these young guys too. That's a lot of
Yeah.
money, right?
Yeah, the guy that's on the bench
Yeah.
is gonna care about that
Yeah.
500K.
Well, even if you're a
Uh
guy that's making 30 million a year, like let's say whoever James Harden or somebody, hey, that's your strip club tab for a couple of nights, right? You could take that
right.
500K and boom, go to the strip club, make it rain. So money is money, still good.
Do you think the team that wins the cup will probably win the championship, or some
Oh,
people are just not going to care? Like some teams may, again, they do their load management. So, but what do you
yeah.
think? Like in terms of the team that will win this tournament, will they have success in the
Probably
playoffs?
not. Probably not. I don't know. So I know you don't do a lot of hockey, but in hockey they have a President's Cup, I believe it's called. Let us know in the chat if that's accurate. Pretty sure it's a
Mm,
President's Cup. So in
right,
hockey, you get points. So many points if you win, 1 point if you tie, and 0 points if you lose. And
right,
you accumulate points. That's your standings. And at the end, whoever had the most points, President's Cup, that's like the number one seed, right? And you get a trophy for that. So usually the President's Cup, sometimes they win the Stanley Cup, sometimes they don't. Most of the time in the history, they don't.
right.
So who knows? But I think it's
Yeah,
similar to that in soccer. Bobby mentioned soccer has a midseason thing. So um, I think it's good overall. I think a lot of people will look at it like irrelevant. Who cares? Some will think it's a cool, interesting kind of thing. Another trophy for a franchise to put somewhere. It is what it is. But overall, I think I'm hopeful it'll be a unique kind of thing that they can do. So
yeah. And trying to, I guess they're looking at the date of the tournament to be around where no one cares about the NBA yet because the NFL is such a dominant thing. And you said NFL doesn't have to change anything. The one thing they have to change is probably the Pro Bowl. That's about it,
yeah,
really. Everything else seems to work really well. I know they want to add more games. I don't know that they need to continue to add more games.
they can.
Because we saw how they're not, if they're not practicing, they're not taking the practice games enough. Then the first couple of games were sloppy. So I don't know how they're going to set situation. I think it's perfect. Like leave it alone
Yeah,
for a lot of the NFL stuff. Maybe figure out the Pro Bowl. Maybe just select them and just move on with themselves. I don't know. Instead of doing a Pro Bowl game where they're not going to go 100%, why would they go 100%? So
yeah.
I am excited. Hopefully they'll figure it out. But other than that, I didn't see anything new about the Pro Bowl, about basketball. But we'll see. We got the dude Victor Wembanyama. I think I pronounced that right. Did you see the situation with his bodyguard backslapping Britney Spears?
Man,
Or
I heard about it and then I saw a video of it, and she's basically like, from what I saw, and she's like tiptoeing up to him to
yeah,
like tap on him and say hello, right, or something, and then like a security guard, I guess, either brushed her away and maybe hit her on her face and knocked like her glasses off or something. Listen, it's
yeah.
silly,
I'm
but
gonna check. I'm gonna see if I can put the video up.
yeah,
It looks like the security guard hit her hand into her own face.
yeah, I think it
If,
was blown out of proportion because it was Britney Spears. If it's a regular chick, we're not talking about this. You know what I'm saying?
isn't it kind of? But that's Britney Spears. Why would Britney Spears think that she needs to be running behind a player anyway? Like,
From what I heard, she heard about him and she wanted to congratulate him or something. I don't know.
I understand that, but it's like you're Britney Spears. No, you don't think
Yeah,
like
she's been a little crazy. She's been a little.
okay? So this is it. All right, that was. Let me see. Let me show it again. Okay, so he's running behind. He doesn't see her.
Yeah.
She kind of goes behind. And the security guard didn't look back, and he kind of swung his hand. I think it hit her hand.
Hit her. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that I would say the security guard. You have to look to see what you're doing. You gotta look to see what you're doing. You can't just be swinging your arms out. You don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could, yeah.
You can kind
It
of
doesn't
see
ma-
both
like
sides,
anybody.
especially if something is coming at
But
you
the
from
other
the
side of
back.
that is he doesn't know who that is in the moment. The instincts kick in. Is that somebody that's trying to like hurt him? Like, are they trying to? You don't know. And a security guard, you're just trying to make sure you're protecting the person you're getting paid to protect. So
True.
it's weird. But if it's a regular chick, we're not talking about this. It's because it's Britney
Yeah.
Spears. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, and it's possible if someone recorded a random person getting slapped, it probably wouldn't be national news, but it'd be on Twitter or somewhere. But she's running up, and I feel like she don't need to do that. She's
basketball star, and
yeah, like her hand hit her face.
his instinct
Yeah.
was to move
Yeah.
her hand, and
I
she
just feel
was
like
very
it,
upset by that, Allie.
again, we're kind of
And the
we're older,
controversy here, the
we're older.
timing of it, Dana,
But at one
obviously,
point,
was the
Britney
security guard
Spears
for
was
Wembanyama,
the
but
most
he
famous
set
person on the
tonight.
planet,
Yes.
right? She was
Yeah.
hot.
Set to play tonight,
The
and,
pop music was really a
Vegas,
big
that show,
thing.
that game is
MTV,
sold out. So this is a really
TRL, where it was
highly
like
anticipated
we
first
thought that
debut
they,
for the
Total
7'5"
Request Live, where
French
we thought we
phenom. So there
voted
are a
for
lot
the
of high
the
hopes
best
that
music
he's going
videos
to
of the
have
day,
much
even though
success on
that
the
was
court
bullshit. I'm
as
sure
he
the
did
record
Hold on.
companies
You
are
got to
paid.
turn off the news feed. We can still hear it.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
Um,
you're good.
yeah, it just that was a big deal. But now, 30 years later, she's kind of, Britney's kind of crazy, and you know, people getting,
She's crazy.
people slapping her now. Like,
It's weird. I mean, yeah. I mean, it looked like he had like 3, 4, 5 bodyguards around him. So I like that. I like that he's taking precautions. I like that he's got people. He's paid people to protect him. He's not out there. So it's good. I think this Victor kid's going to be fine. He's with a good organization, the Spurs. He's going to be okay.
yeah,
Um,
it is
I,
unusual because I don't think I don't know, if other rookies may have that many
no, but he's a big deal
bodyguards.
in these world. I mean, he's the guy in the NBA as far as rookies go. And even coming in as being a rookie, he's one of the big names right now. You know his name. He's so big. He's very recognizable. Okay. He's coming from overseas, so he has that overseas flavor. He's got the France love and the European love already. He's going to get that in the USA with the kids, especially if he plays well. If he starts balling out, this guy could be the face of the league. If you think about the top guys right now, or at least some of the top guys, half of them are getting older, right? So if he does well, this could be, it could be good. But I do think the Chet kid that we talked about last week,
Yeah, I was going to bring that back.
I can see him being rookie of the year, unless Victor balls out. But I think Chet's going to be rookie of the year. I'm going to place like a $10 bet on that and see if I can make $30.
The only issue, the only issue is that Chet has a better team, and there's already a dude that's the
He
man
does.
at the team, and I don't
He
know.
does have a better team, but if he's got a better team, that might serve him better. Maybe because they might be more relative. There's more, what I'm saying? Like he might have a hand in.
They could help him feed
getting to the
him. I
playoffs.
mean, he is tall. Like, how tall is Chet? Is he 7 feet?
He's 7'1" or something, or
7'1", something long, lanky, and hopefully he's a little stronger. Hector came in with some news. Pop signed a 5-year extension.
$80 million.
I've heard news that he was basically he was drained. He was burnt out. If they didn't get that guy, he may not even continue to coach. That's what I heard.
Well,
he loves coaching, but
they gave him $80 million. But when you got a kid like Victor, you want Pop. You don't want to, you want him to stay there, right? So I think it's good on the Spurs to do it. In 5 years, is long, but not too long. So he's got 5 years left.
Bobby says Pop earned it, just not recently. He didn't have the horses, right? He didn't have the. It's also hard to play for Pop. That's what I've heard. Like that's everyone. That's why Kawhi left. He was like, "You don't believe I'm hurt, and you try to play hard. You trying to play me? Well, I'm out." So, we'll see. I mean, Pop is in his. How old is Popovich? Let me look this up real quick.
He's got to be. I'm pretty good with the ages. Right? Hold up. I'm pretty good with the ages. I'm gonna say Pop is. I'm gonna say he is 67. Older?
Older.
Damn, 74?
74. Hey, Pedro, you need to find a way to make money guessing ages. I don't know
I'm pretty good. I'm decent at it. Yeah, I'm decent at it.
1949, 74 years old.
He's going to be coached until he's 80. That's crazy.
So I'm wondering if they didn't get this number 1 pick, would he even continue to coach? He's 74 years old. Got to deal with all this stress. You have a bad team.
Probably not.
The West is too dominant. So I think this probably rejuvenized him and like, oh, wow, I can maybe actually, championship, that's going to be a while. I mean, obviously going to need some, but at least they'll give him something interesting to deal with.
I want to remind us of something, and you guys in the chat will remember this, right? If you're a basketball fan. Tim Duncan came in. Pop was a rookie coach or had just been rookie coach, right? When Tim Duncan came in. Now, Tim Duncan, also a number 1 pick, played a year or two at Wake Forest, had a very, very, very good, a little more polished than Victor, I think, a little more ready. But that Spurs team was trash before Tim Duncan got there. Rookie season, right to the playoffs, I believe. They improved by like 40 or 50 games in the win column. And then I believe the next year they won a championship, him and David Robinson. So I think, they could turn around. The Spurs could turn around if this kid balls out. So
I remember the reason why they even got near a lottery pick because David Robinson was hurt like damn near the whole year. They probably shelved him. But you see, Pop was probably the original tanker. He was like, listen, David, just wait, just sit down. Maybe we'll get somebody else.
On. I want you to put Hector's comment up. Go
Which
3 comment. You see? Greg
one?
Popovich is Greg Popovich is great with development, and I'm telling you, Victor is going to go down as the best Spurs player of all time. What do you guys think? That's a hot take. You think he's going to have a better career than Tim Duncan? If I'm a betting man, he's not going to.
Okay. For him to be the greatest, he'll have to win more chips than
6
Tim Duncan.
championships. Yeah,
So
I
6.
don't know about that. Yeah.
And Tim Duncan had a great coach. He had other Hall of Famers with him. So yeah, David Robinson for that one championship. Then David Robinson kind of
had
went.
Manu Ginobili.
Then he had Molly Ginobili. Then he had
Kawhi
Tony
Leonard.
Parker. He had Hall of Famer players. Like Tony Parker don't get a lot of respect as one of the greatest point guards. He was solid, man. Really, I mean, Pop beat him into becoming a great point guard. Yeah. But he became one, And Manu, with his weird Euro stepping ass, he when you need a point, when you need a score, Manu, and then sometimes he's great with great defense sometimes too. And also, we forgot our homeboy. Actually, I don't know if he was there late in the Spurs one, but Sean Elliott.
Sean Elliott was in the beginning.
In the beginning,
Robinson, Sean Elliott, Robinson, Duncan.
There were so many great players came out of there. Steven Jackson's in there for a minute. Avery Johnson,
Steven Jackson.
So if Victor's gonna come down, maybe individual stats, like he's like a Wilt, like he just starts like 30 a game and 5 blocks, but in terms of winning, which Spurs are accustomed to, it's hard to get that. I mean, LeBron does not have 6 championships.
No.
And who knows if I don't think he's going to get to 6 championships. Right? No,
LeBron's not getting 2 more. That would be very, very, very hard for him.
Do you think LeBron will get 1 more?
I can see it. I think it's going to be tough. I think this past year was a good shot. If they would have got past the Nuggets, I think they could have beat Miami. Yeah. But they didn't. So it is what it is.
It is what it is, right? We'll see. If Hector's talking about Devontae Murray. Yeah, he just signed a big contract to the Hawks too. Which
Devontae and Victor. Oh, that's a nice little tandem, right?
But they would never known if they would. That was already. I think they were already either rebuilding, and it is what it is. But we'll see. Hopefully, he's not injury prone. What's up to Nova Hustles? I was going to say Nova Dasher.
Good.
Yeah, it's all injuries with these skinny toothpick legs, man. It is what, because holding that frame. It's crazy.
It is. But I think he's going to bulk up a little bit. So you would think he's going to naturally put on some weight. He's still pretty young, so I'm rooting for him. We'll see what we get, but he's going to have to put on some strength. That's for damn sure. So.
Gotcha. What you drinking?
I have a
wine spritzer.
Listen,
I'm sorry. I was just fucking with it. Yeah, this is a long day, man.
I got one of these.
Oh, that probably tastes good.
It is. Yeah.
Lime anything. I'm drinking.
I love
right.
Love lime.
There's a little salt in there too. How many you drinking tonight?
2. I got 2. This is the second. Right. Well, this is the first one. I got 1 more. That's it.
Right, drink 2 more for me.
Not 2.
All right, let's talk about this men and women who got it worse. There's one situation. I'm sure you guys may have already seen this. Has been talking about this all weekend. The Keke Palmer situation. Now, from what I gathered, this is so ridiculous. But this is at least of the podcast. I could pretend that I'm interested in like celebrity gossip and shit.
Well, you brought it up. Shit.
I know I brought it up, but listen,
you have to be.
I like the outfit. So, Keke Palmer has a boyfriend named Darius Jackson. They actually had a child together. It seems like they're a couple. Don't seem like they're a couple anymore. But anyway, they have a son together. Was born in 2023. She just had the kid.
Oh, damn. This year. Okay.
Just a year. Wow, she snapped back like an amazing person. But anyway, she decided to go to a Usher concert. She wears a sheer dress showing her booty cheeks.
That's what they're all doing nowadays.
Fantastic dress. I mean, it's good to look at, but like we'll get into it. Should you suggest your girl to wear it, or do you have a concern if she wears that? But anyway, she goes to the Usher concert. She gets on social media. Usher doing his ushering thing. I'll show the video. The boyfriend tweets and says, "It's an outfit, though. It's the outfit, though. You a mom." He gets destroyed on social media. Who the fuck are you?
Why is he tweeting? Are they still? If they're still together, why is he putting a tweet out? Like, I don't understand.
We're gonna break this down. I have a lot of theories. This story has been so interesting. At least on the weekend, 2 different people spent the whole time. Either I was smoking with them or drinking with them, telling me about this story and how much the boyfriend was terrible. And I'm sitting there being devil's advocate. I'm like, well, What are they talking? Maybe there's some situation going on. Maybe he's
Mhm.
frustrated. And
Mhm.
you're like, fuck that. He ain't doing. Keke is great. She got all this going on, and she don't need. She don't need him. I'm like, all right. I mean, all that could be accurate, but
But we
they're
don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
in a relationship. It should be two equals, right?
Mm.
Just because one person is successful and more known doesn't mean they could do what they want, right? Men or
Facts.
women. That's
Very true.
So let me show you how nice this booty looked in this thing. Let me
Let's
show you
see.
real quick. And it's also Usher, man. Usher can do whatever you want, man.
We're not looking
Usher
at Usher's
take
booty.
your
Hold on,
girl,
we're not looking
man.
at
I'm just
Usher's
saying.
booty. We're looking at Keke Palmer's booty, right?
True, but I'm gonna show you
Okay.
how Usher's
I just
like
wanna make
staring
sure.
near her a
Okay.
little bit. Let me see. There's a few videos. Let me see if you don't need to hear the music or anything.
No,
Which
we don't.
one is you see? Let me click. Okay, wait. After. Okay, so you see Usher doing look, all that hugging. He's singing. So if you're the boyfriend, are you cool with this?
Let me watch. Let me see.
Like, are you okay with your girl going to a concert? She's really feeling it. Are you cool with this?
You're asking me?
I'm asking everyone. Ask everyone.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if she turns around.
So chat.
Let me
Let
see.
us know.
Look, she turns around,
Okay.
shows her little booty, and Usher. Okay.
So guys in the chat, before I already know what I'm going to say. You guys let us know. I don't know if we have any ladies in the chat. Let us know.
And you can look
Would
at it.
you
She's
wear
happy.
This, yeah, she's happy. Okay.
He's attractive, dude. People like Usher. It is what it is. Okay. Nova hustles come right off the gate. Nah.
Okay. Hold up. I'm not.
He said, I'm not. Hector,
Damn, y'all are ruthless. All right.
She's for the streets. Bobby said, I'm all right with it. Bobby,
all right, so
you
now that Bobby
aren't
said
you?
that, I'm going to side with my man Bobby. What I saw in that video, I got zero issues with. None. Okay. If my girl, see, who do my girl? My girl likes, I don't know, she's not into like a lot of like R&B guys, but she likes certain actors or actresses. If she goes to a show and is having a good time and she gives a guy a hug, and when she turns around, she's a few feet away from him and she's having a good time, I got no issues with that. Now, do I have an issue with her wearing something like that? I don't know. Maybe that's a private convo. I'm pretty chill though. So for me, if I'm being honest, like I want my girl to have a good time, because when she comes home, she's coming home to me, because I'm not in a relationship with somebody that I don't trust, right? So like she's gonna come home to me, she's feeling good, like I'm fine with it. I just am. Now if she starts twerking on Usher, that's a completely different thing, but she's not doing that, right? So for me,
if Usher wanted it, she probably would. If Usher said, "Hey,
I don't know.
hang out with me,"
maybe.
Is the Ush?
Maybe
confessions,
maybe.
Man.
I don't know. Maybe, but I don't have a problem with that. I think
So when a girl's showing her ass to Usher, like to another man, what do you think she's trying to communicate?
I think she's caught up in the moment. I think she's having a good time. Do I really think she's like saying, "Hey Usher, I want you to come hit this"? No, I don't.
Maybe not.
I don't
consciously,
so.
But when a girl shows you, turns around and does the look with the booty, even if she's not wearing that, when she turn around and do the smile, and she, what do you think is happening?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm against Pedro on this, obviously. Listen.
Okay.
The one thing the boyfriend did wrong, and this is why the relationship did not follow each other on Instagram. So I guess that means they broke up. That's what celebrity gossip is about. If they stop following each other on Instagram, they're not together. But they have a child. They have a child together, so they are together for a very long time. The relationship was probably on the outs. Yes. They probably was having issues.
Yes.
She may have wore that dress on purpose.
Maybe.
Yep. What he did wrong was to make it public. But why would you do that? Are you frustrated with the relationship? Are you frustrated with you trying to contact her? She's not probably responding to you. Also, it could be some insecurity. Wow.
Oh, it's absolutely not just... no. It's absolutely insecure.
I wouldn't argue with that, because it is some hypocriticalness with him. He has posted a video of her shaking her ass for him. Like a joke. Oh, look, she's shaking. So it's not about, I guess, the ass shaking, but he's talking about the outfit, your mom. Now, as a son, would I want my mom wearing that? No. Because eventually someone's going to, hey, look at your mom. people we used, it probably still happens. The one way you can get people to start fighting, especially young, immature men, talk about their moms.
Sure.
So you look at your mom, your ass is out. So now you gotta fight. You know what I mean? Not a good idea, not the best idea. So I'm looking at it from both angles, but clearly I think this is already a fractured relationship. He
Yes.
he still did wrong. I don't think you should have not brought that up public. So he's
No.
more wrong than she is. He should have kept it. He should have just said, "Hey, I'm leaving you," or hit the text, "Are you not gonna talk to me? All right, we're done." If this is the breaking point of the situation,
Let me play devil's advocate. Can you turn? I can't really hear you. So turn that off or something. Get it muted or something.
sorry, I'm gonna
Okay.
move that.
All right. So listen. And I want y'all's perspective in the chat. And shout out to Marion for joining us. I see Nova Hustles in here. Hector, all you guys, drop your comments now. A lot of you guys are saying, "Well, it's what she's wearing." I get it. There's certain things I'm kind of conservative about with how I want my lady to look when she's with me. But if I'm being honest, if she's going out and she's with her girls, I want her to have a good time. And I want her to have fun because I trust her. So we have to understand, to Hannibal's point, there might be underlying issues, and then things bubble to the surface, and the guy's seeing this and he starts tweeting shit, and you get insecure and you're not feeling good about your relationship. Those things come out. But if you feel secure about your man or your woman or whatever relationship you're in, those things don't matter. You should look at that and say, "Oh, she's having a good time. I saw nothing. She's not twerking on Usher. She's having fun. I want my girl to have a good time. She's not doing anything outlandish." Now, the outfit. This is my devil's advocate. Women wear stuff like that at the pool, and you could be with your girl at the pool, and she has a bathing suit, a two-piece, maybe it's a G-string, maybe it's whatever, and the tits are out, the ass is out. So your body's on display while you're at a pool, right? You're basically wearing underwear, correct? So if she's at a club, just because the scenery is different, it makes it different. The men are still going to see the body, right? So are we applying the same energy if you're taking your girl to a pool? Should they wear two pieces? Should they wear one of those sheer covers? Should everything be hidden? That's my question to you guys. Just playing devil's advocate, right? Because I see her ass is out, yeah, like very similar fashion that Ciara's ass was out with Russell Wilson, and we talked about that several months ago. But think about if you're at a pool, man. I see girls wearing more provocative things at a pool than I do in clubs and in that video. So that's what I would say to that.
I just looked at she finally responded, because she did not respond from any of this. Basically, the internet was just destroying the boyfriend. Let me see what she wrote. She says, I guess I don't know if she did a tweet. We live in a generation where the man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother of his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is what he said.
Yeah.
Let me see what she said. Let's see. After having my baby, I have gotten so much more powerful. I'll be honest. I think before I even had the baby, I'm actually quite self-conscious in the way you expect, considering the kind of work I do as a public figure, always trying to be on point with my body and always trying to make sure I'm taking care of this and that. There's a lot of physical attention. I guess she's still talking about her body, I guess, but I'm just trying to see what exactly she is saying. My headspace is to just continue to inspire and encourage myself and anybody else who wants to go down with road with me, because we're growing and we're changing. It's all about loving who I am and loving what I experienced and what I've gone through that's gotten me here. A lot of gratitude for me.
Interesting.
That had nothing. That I don't get it.
Like, it doesn't relate necessarily.
Yeah, it don't relate at all.
Yeah,
I guess she just moved on from the guy. And Darius Jackson, that's the guy. He deleted his social media accounts. He's getting destroyed for what he had.
Do you think he should be getting destroyed?
I would say if the mother of your child, you don't do that. You don't go. You don't make a public display. That's a mother of your child. You should realize, hey, I don't want to be with you like the way I thought, but that's you have a son. You're gonna have to deal with this woman for probably your rest of your life, or at least until the child is in 20s. But still, you have to interact with this person. You share a human being. You create a human being. So he should never do that publicly. Where he just said, "Hey, I don't." Text, "Hey, you're not going to talk to me, or you don't want to talk, but I didn't appreciate that. And she may have they may have already been like, I'm done anyway, because
Maybe.
a lot of this we don't know. For her to wear that kind of dress, to me, that's a single woman's dress.
Okay.
I'm single.
Okay.
You out there, you having a good time. You're not
Yeah.
attached to anybody, so you have to worry about what another person has to say.
Mm-hmm.
You at a concert. I know you used the example of a pool.
Mm-hmm.
This is a concert. You listen to music. You're not jumping in the pool. So
Fair.
And also, she's a celebrity. They get a little bit more leeway. They gotta show out. They gotta do something different.
Yes.
She's got a baby. She want to show how everything got snapped back. That kind of thing. This I luckily I don't have to worry about that. Like in all my situations, that I would not think, okay, I'm mad with this person, I need to go and make a social media post about it. I would not be on my
bigger underlying issue. It's an
Yeah.
it's a bigger issue, I think, and but Keke Palmer isn't somebody that I feel I usually hear about her doing crazy things or provocative things or dressing really provocatively. I don't look at her in that way, right?
Right.
At least, I don't know. I know a little bit about her, but so for me, I don't know. I obviously women are dressing more risque a little bit. At least it seems like, right? There's that women empowerment thing or whatever. They want to feel good about themselves, especially after having a baby. I can imagine you feel like you're looking good. You want to just feel good about yourself, and maybe you want some attention or somebody to compliment you. I don't really have anything wrong with that, but I do see your point about that's a single woman's outfit. I get that. Yeah. But I also think we have to understand and be respectful and mindful of people have different types of relationships, right? And that's between the two of you and what you agree upon. So if my girl walks out of getting dressed and she has that on, right? Depending upon our relationship and how comfortable we are and how confident we are and how trustworthy we are, I might be okay with it. But if the relationship's not good and you see that, your mind as a man might go to, damn, why is she wearing that? Is she trying to get another man? What is she trying to convey to the people out there? So I think it depends on what level of your relationship is at currently. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. Like you said, that the level of security, like he seemed insecure. So most likely, actually, let me look at what Nova put in here real quick. He said, personally, it's more about the outfit. She doesn't need to wear that to have a good time, but also, I know my girl and I know she wouldn't wear that. So like you guys, like you and your relationship kind of have an agreement of, what's appropriate, what isn't. Even for you, like I'm sure there's certain things you can do or wear or say, because at this point it's all about who's.
Oh, you talking about me?
Well, I'm talking about any like a man, a relationship between two people. There's going to be boundaries on both sides, right? Or no boundaries. It's all about what you guys agree with. But I think the reason why he got upset because of Usher. This is if she was out in the club, doing regular club stuff, or she was at a movie premiere, or she was doing stuff that celebrities do, and she had a little booty out, went to an award show and just danced with regular people and kept it real friendly. Didn't do the hug and turn around to show the booty.
I think it's different.
He would not be that mad. He got insecure because that dude is that dude.
I can see. I think
in his mind, he know if Usher wanted, he probably could. And that mess with his mind, and he reacted probably in an immature way by going on social media. But he may have already noticed this relationship is already out of reach. Let me just do this thing. That's what I think. If it was a regular event, I don't think he would have made that comment. I don't think he would put it out there. I don't know.
I want to bring something up to you before we get into, guys, stay with us. We're going to talk about men versus women, kind of who has it harder in 2023 right? in this country. Because I think in other countries, it could be different. But Nova Hustle brings up something, and I'm sure Hannibal's heard about this. The Adam 22, his wife.
Oh, I'm very into this.
I've seen some clips, so I want to get your perspective on that because that is next level, right? So let me set it up. Let me set it up, and then So Adam 22 has a podcast, No Jumper. It's basically one of the most popular hip hop themed podcasts in the world. The most.
Do you watch them? I don't.
I've seen some stuff, but I don't watch. I've seen some stuff on YouTube. But I don't
some
watch.
clips. Some people love it. Some people love him.
Very popular. Yeah. But he has a wife, I forget her name. Lena? Maybe it's
Lena the Plug. I'm
Lena the
very
Plug.
familiar with her work.
So
Guys,
they do
good work.
OnlyFans, apparently, right? They do OnlyFans. They've been married for 7 years. They've got a kid together. Like, shout out to them. Seems like they're pretty healthy relationship, but it is what it is. Seems like it. For her birthday, I guess they worked a deal where she did her first porn. She's not like she hadn't had any other scenes with any other men besides her husband. Her husband and her do scenes with other women. So Adam's been getting, he's got the life. Some would say he's got a really blessed life, right? He's got his wife. He gets to bang other chicks. They do it together. They're millionaires, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But for her birthday, she wanted to have sex with another man. And this is a famous porn star, I guess, a guy, right? And they did it. And he's getting a lot of heat on social media. And he's had interviews and people are asking, you let your wife have sex with another dude? Like, and you signed off on that? Like, so what's your thoughts on knowing? I know that you already know everything I said, but what are your thoughts on your wife, you co-signing on her to do a scene that's going to be seen by tens of millions of people for the rest of eternity? What do you think about that?
But the problem is with this, the porn world isn't the same as normal everyday relationship world. But like you said, I think she may have I think she was a porn star before they met. Or
That's
maybe
not
she
what I
started.
heard.
I don't know.
That's not what I heard.
You think she started with him?
Oh, I don't know.
Let me look up. Because I've seen a few scenes of her.
Also,
before
maybe
this.
Okay. Maybe it was.
But
before.
I don't know how long, because you said 7 years. That I don't remember seeing this 7 years ago. So I'm trying to say, when did she started her porn career? I don't know if you're probably able to see when she started. But she's been here for a while.
Comment. Hector, some couples flow like that. Very good. They clearly flow like that. They clearly.
That's what I was
that.
saying.
Yeah.
But the problem is, most of us are not going to relate well with that. And on top of that, she decides to have sex with a really large black man, and you're falling for the stereotype, the trope of being a cuck. Cuckold. Cuckold is basically you are allowing someone to have sex with your wife, usually while you're there, right? Some people already get off on that. So it just looks, it's not like it was another regular guy that looked like him. This guy,
completely
I don't know the picture.
Dude. Yeah.
Jacked, big, long. I don't know too much about him. To be honest, I just big, tall guy. I don't know what that's long for.
Yeah.
So it's like you're falling right into this stereotype. So of course, men are going to listen. Whether we think logically, okay, she let him have sex, and they're getting, but he's being made fun of. He's being mocked. Is that better? Is that more important than money? Like, you're just being mocked all the time.
Do you think
he's pretty good about it? His responses, but
do you think this will be the end of? Do you think this will be detrimental to their relationship?
No. Well, relationship, maybe. Their brands, no. They no Jumper is even more probably be same popularity.
Oh, it's going to help his brand. It's going to help his brand, but it could, in the back of his mind as a dude, he's got to at some point be thinking, has thought, or will think, damn, my wife, like that's, that big black man did my, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be in his mind, right? How can I please her now after going from that? You know what I'm saying?
They host a podcast. She didn't mention that it hurt. And she's, I guess, glad to go back, I guess, to him, because she had to like rest up for a while.
Listen,
there's another man listening to that.
Women don't like that. That's not a.
They don't. We assume that because we're idiots, but no. Obviously, everything has to be, body autonomy correct. If a guy has a big giant thing, it's going to hurt, right?
It's not normal. Yeah.
But it doesn't look great. Now he mentions, she lets me have sex with different, women.
Right.
It's going back what Hector said. People flow that way.
Like hypocritical in some ways, right? So as a woman, she can't say I want to have sex with another man, but as a man, he can say I want to have sex with. I mean, he's probably had sex with hundreds of women in the 7 years they've been married. So I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but think about that for a second, right? And we're gonna get into the man versus women, who has it harder. Should there be different, like how we look at things? But like, think about that for a second. Like, so she has sex with one dude, and he's had sex with hundreds, and all of a sudden we're like bagging on her and like feeling bad for him or making him a cuck. Like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I think definitely, or at least what I've seen, Adam is getting most of the like
The shit.
What are you doing? You're kind of you're a cuck. This is embarrassing for you. Oh yeah, good point, Bobby. What if he enjoys being a cuck?
He might.
I mean, that's what it is. That's what the definition of a cuck. I know usually we use it as a negative of you allowing something bad to happen. If everyone's agreeing, it's not a problem. But it's just also, it's a whole different world, the porn world. It's like different worlds and cultures that we can't relate to, and maybe we don't want to, right? But we only partake by watching, right? But we would not want to be like, I personally probably would not want to be with a porn actress for many reasons. So
There's a
going
couple.
back to
It's been a while since I've watched, but there's a couple that I would definitely.
yesterday,
right now.
last time,
5 days ago. There's a couple I would be like, yeah, I'll probably still, let me see if I can get permission.
but be in a committed relationship.
Committed?
That's
No.
where it's very difficult,
Not
because there is, we have to be honest with ourselves and be like, in reality, there's a stigma around people who do porn. Unfortunately, mostly on women. So we can talk about who has it worse, men or women. There's certain things. There's double standards. There are double standards, but life is about double standards. Things are not fair. So yeah, a woman, especially other women, will quick to throw this out when a woman is being promiscuous.
Yeah.
The first ones to be shit on this woman would be another woman.
Another woman. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So the standards of what a woman's supposed to be, pure, friendly, feminine, all those things we hold up, and we're trying, or at least the culture is trying to make show being a mom is showing your ass as empowering, where I think in most of us we don't see it empowering, and either we're too afraid to say it, but our actions move differently. Like Darius, that the guy, he's like this is your mom, what are you doing? Is he too conservative? So it's those, I guess, expectations, I think, of culture. It's confusing. Bobby asks, would you date a stripper?
I have. I wouldn't marry one. I've dated a stripper, but it's not really dating. It's you're seeing one. But I didn't meet her at a club, but she was. Yes, I have, but it wasn't long. But I have, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
So I don't know.
So who has it harder right now in 2023 in America? Let's start with America, because I think in other parts of the world, my opinion's different based on Eastern versus Western cultures and relationship dynamics, and you can even bring in religious beliefs and other things into it, right? In 2023 in America, who has it harder right now? Who's struggling more? Who has to deal with more, men or women, in your opinion?
Well, if you go by the numbers, men are having a worse time, are dealing with more than women. But you'll never ever hear that from many of the stuff, like the mainstream stuff. They're not talking about it, not yet. Hopefully they will. Education, drugs, suicide, homelessness, all the overdoses, all men are leading all those things. But the fact that because a man is physically stronger, we say, you buck up, figure it out, because women had had their rights be taken away. They're trying to catch up, but I think at this point they're caught up in their head. And when do we, the whole gender wage gap and all that type of thing, when do we really realize that women are more educated, they make more money, and a lot of men are getting left behind? Like, when do we actually have that conversation? I don't know when, because like I said this to you many times before, the most dangerous man is a man with no hope. They could do terrible things, especially if there's a whole group of them, and then you have one nefarious cult leader or dictator telling them what they should do. That's how wars start. That's how crazy shit started, when you have a bunch of men with no hope. And I think there's a lot of men out there that they don't have friends, they don't have a girlfriend. Many adults, or at least men, haven't had sex I forgot the stats of that, but they're not even getting laid. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Good points. Yeah. I will say this. I think it might just be some of the things that I've seen or watch, right? Or choose to watch or choose to learn about. I think the tide's changing a little as far as some media, various podcasts, whatever you want to call it, red pill, white pill, blue pill, whatever pill you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
I definitely see there's in the last 5 years, especially, maybe a little more, a trend of men speaking out for themselves a little more and saying, you know what? I'm kind of tired of like us always having to like, take everything, and not talk about what we want and not, I think there's been a little bit of a trend of saying, you know what? No, we do have it hard. We're the ones that are all the things you mentioned, struggling in all these ways. We're the ones going to war mostly. We're the ones building shit, right?
Yep.
We're the ones doing
the most dangerous jobs men have.
dangerous jobs are done by men.
Yeah.
And it's always kind of been like that. Now, there are a lot of women doing dangerous jobs, but we're talking in percentages here, right? We're talking the vast majority, right? And I feel like it's almost like we've had this shift of like women are coming into certain workforces and they should, and if they can do the job, they should do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But like it's causing this like this different dynamic within relationships. So you have a lot of men that are feeling like they can't date, they can't get a date, they can't do this, they can't do that. A lot of men are sad and lonely, depressed. Suicide rates are up, all these things. Education levels low. Men feeling like they don't have a voice, right? So those are the men that then also clamp on to like a Donald Trump, an Andrew Tate, Fit and Fresh, or whatever that podcast is. They go to that stuff because they feel like, hey, I'm being heard.
Right? They need something. They need some guidance.
Exactly. And women go to Cosmo or this podcast and be great. You can do anything. We need more money. We need this. We need that. So it's like we're working against each other the last few years, which is bad, right?
Yeah.
But that's in America. Other parts of the world, I think men in America have it overall a lot harder than women, in my opinion, in this country. But in other countries, I think it's actually reversed. I think in other countries, women have it a lot harder because they're just not as the society that they've grown up in, for whatever reason, is just different and still kind of suppressing them. So their voice isn't as heard. But in America, you have pretty much the same opportunities nowadays. It wasn't always like that, right?
Right.
But I think they've caught up very quickly. And I think men are definitely lacking. That's my thought on it. And I think it's an issue because, like I said, a lot of the men actually do most of the dangerous work, the hard labor. And when you stop doing those kind of things for various reasons, it's going to have an effect in the future. So,
yeah, absolutely. Nova with a really good point. I think most men suffer in silence. They suck it up mentally, kind of keep going, and then they turn into drugs, alcohol, video games, pornography, just to keep going, right? I think no, but I do agree with you. Other parts of the world, different cultures, it's taken a long time. I know certain parts of the world where women just learned recently were able to drive. So there's certain cultures where things are still traditional, and there's not enough individualness of not every woman wants to have a family. Not they may not want to be interested in that.
A lot of women right now between the ages of 18 to 30 don't want to have kids, don't want to get married. So think about what that does to the next generation, right? Like there are a lot of women that are like, I'm not getting married, or I'm not having kids, or so that wasn't being said 30 years ago. It was like, I want to get married, I want to have kids,
Right.
So things are shifting.
It's about culture, about what is ideal. Right now, ideal for women is to do what a man does. Make it, get that career going, grab that brass ring, break the ceilings. But then having a family is not as important. There's other cultures, I think it's in Japan or Korea, where no, I think it's Japan. There's not enough people. They're not making enough people. No one's effing anybody. No one wants a child because it's too expensive. So they're just doing their thing. They're overworking. And I think it could be in South Korea as well. So it's like there's some cultures where they're not effing enough. They're just not having they're not having enough babies.
Yeah.
Because eventually people can get old, and who's going to take care of the old people when there's no,
Is it China that you can only have one kid, or is it Japan? I have to.
China had the one kid policy, but I
China.
think they kind of went back on that because everyone just
Okay.
kept having boys, and basically got rid of the girls when they realized, oh, we have too many boys. They had to reverse that. I think.
I think in other parts of the world, women are marginalized at a disgusting
I would
pace.
disagree.
Like, it's bad.
I would disagree. Yeah.
You know, but
It's-
in America, I think. Listen, bro, I'll say something that might spark a little hot take. Listen, if you're a good-looking woman in America, you can have anything you want. If you're born and you're attractive and you're a woman in this country, you could basically pick your life, and that's how I feel. And I think if you're a man, you got to have influence, money, or power. And if you don't have those things, you're fucked. You just are, right? Or at least you don't have as many opportunities. But as a woman, if you're born pretty, you could pretty much pick your lane you want to go in, and you could be okay for the most part. So
yeah, I think for men, and men were like if you go back going the whole traditional way of living, the men are supposed to be the providers. They're supposed to take on the more tougher roles, the tougher the situations. It's natural. That's why when a man doesn't have a purpose or a goal, he flounders. He's going to dive into the drugs, alcohol, lots of video games, a lot of pornography. He needs a mission. He needs to be doing something. And we have pushed that away. And Bobby has a good point here. Men are being made to feel guilty to want power and control in our society. Toxic masculinity. The only toxic masculinity I can think of is a man abusing someone weaker than him.
Abusing a woman, or abusing their power, or abusing their status in their business, and that does happen.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
But I think they've blanketed the label of toxic for anything that you do by being traditional. So all right, I'll ask you this question about Keke Palmer's boyfriend. Do you think he displayed toxic masculinity by typing that social media post?
No. I wouldn't call it toxic masculinity. I think he displayed some insecurity and some relationship weakness is what I think. And I've been guilty of that. There's been in my younger days.
Too.
In my younger days, I'd see things on like, damn, and you get triggered and you don't feel secure about yourself.
And your homeboys, his homeboys probably texting him like, yo, you saw this? Is your girl?
Exactly.
And you know that gets you going too. When somebody is that your girl? All right.
Yep.
And then he gets that, which is wrong, right? It's a friend. I don't know what you do at that point.
Like,
what would you do? So I could see that going in a negative direction, but
but if Hannibal texts me like, I see Madison out here on the streets, bro, she on Instagram, what's going on, her tits out, I tell Hannibal, mind your business, bro. That's what I would say, because at this point it took me a long time. I'm 41. I'm secure in the relationship that I'm currently in, so I ain't tripping because she ain't gonna do nothing crazy, right? Like that's at least I feel that, so I'm not tripping about that, about another person's opinion on what my girl's doing, because that's my chick.
Now that takes time to trust someone. You probably shouldn't put all your trust in someone you met a month ago. It takes a lot of trials and tribulations. Sometimes you slip up and say, I didn't trust you on this one, but that was my mistake. There was no trust for him to type that. He had no trust in her. Right. Maybe she had no trust in him.
He was hurt. So, he was clearly hurt by that.
Yeah, I think so.
He's looking at that. He might have the baby with him. He's on daddy duty. He's like, what the fuck? Like, what? That's Usher? Oh, no.
Usher.
He felt like he needed to be heard, right?
Yeah.
And he had a moment. And we've all, as men, I think most of us have been there. I've had many moments like that, feeling insecure, feeling like, what's going on here? And he had his moment. And it's okay for him to have it, but then it just tells you that relationship wasn't where it needed to be at that time. So
absolutely. And celebrity relationships don't last long. I don't think he was a celebrity. I don't know what he did. I mean, it doesn't matter. That's the one thing some of the friends just kept bothering me about, like, she's the producer and she's doing all this and she was on Nope. And I was like, Nope sucked. I don't care. That movie sucked. It was bad. And people like it. And I think
you didn't like that movie. I wouldn't say
it was so boring.
When I saw it, because I saw it after you did.
Yeah,
I didn't think it sucked. And I've only seen it once.
Boring.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't like
the
it.
ending was okay. Other than
Yeah.
that, I'm like, yo, get to the point, get
Yeah.
to the thing. But anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it's men here. I guess we'll talk about Western society. It's difficult. Like, okay, you want everyone to be sensitive to everything, but also you want to still make a lot of money. You want to still be successful, but don't be too successful. Don't be too demanding, but be demanding enough, but not too
Yeah.
much. You toxic bastard. Like, which one is it? What do you
Yeah.
want?
Yeah.
Okay, you let your girl get railed out, but don't get mad about it. But then also you get too mad about your cuck. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think some women, I think clearly some women have what I think is an unrealistic expectation of men currently. They want a guy that's 6 foot plus, making $100,000, $150,000 a year, and he's got to be, a good. Most men don't have that.
Most people
Women,
do not earn six figures.
They don't. Most people don't earn six figures. A lot of dudes ain't gonna be 6 foot, dark, like dark, tall, and handsome, six figures. We're like, no, like you're looking at you're basing your expectation based on like the celebrities you watch on Instagram and the TV shows, and that's not reality. While it
Absolutely.
might be called reality TV, that is not reality. The average dude is not making that kind of money, not living that kind of life, right? But a lot of women want that. So, and the men that do have that, the guys that are, high value men, as Kevin Samuel used to say, these high value men, they're going after high value women. So they have their pick over dozens, right? Whereas the women have their pick over very few because there's not a lot of guys like that. So there's still that disconnect when it comes.
They got a lot of choices, just not the men they want.
They do
like
have
not
choices,
the dude,
exactly.
not the yeah.
And what's wrong with a hardworking dude making $50K a year that's busting his ass and providing? There's nothing wrong with that. And that right now I think is undervalued with some women.
Yeah, like that one. I forgot her name, Ebony something. She was a talk show host or something like that, lawyer. And she was like, she was having a conversation with another, I think, relationship expert. And the relationship expert asked her, "Would you date a man that was a bus driver?" And she said, "Only if he owned the bus.
Yeah.
He'll have to own the company."
Yeah.
And she's an attractive, very attractive woman, lawyer. She wants a guy making more than she does.
Sure.
The problem is the guy that's making more than she does. Now she's in her 40s, I think,
He's
but
got
still
a lot
very.
of choices. Yeah.
She's very. I'm sure. I don't know. I thought we talked about this. Maybe we didn't.
I think we did.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember us talking about that, and I don't mind. I mean, everybody has their prerequisites and their things that they want, but like she has to understand that he's looking at he's got hundreds of options. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that would be a successful guy. So
yeah, it's hard. It's going to be difficult to find that when he's probably looking for something younger, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, like she's not ugly, right?
No,
for 40 something. But he is going to probably that man that she's probably looking at that is the CEO, the guy who owns a bus company.
Yeah.
May not be looking for a 4-year-old lawyer because lawyers work a lot. Lawyers break up all the time. They work too much, and she's working. She's doing host. So like those things are why I think there's a disconnect there. But actually, let's bring it back to the next question I have for you. We've said this: men have it a little more. At least I think men are having a little difficult compared to women. Would you still, if you had a choice, would you still be a man or would you change to be a woman? If you had, because again, we're talking about, we're saying that men are having it hard, right? So would you want to be a woman?
No.
Right? So
no way.
So is it that bad then? If you had a choice, like to be a woman or man, you're like, nah, I'm still sticking with it.
That's a great question because it's not something I think about a lot, but I mean, I like being a dude. Like
like if you thought about it, we have to talk about it.
But yeah, we would. But it's 2023, so a lot of
it is. You could be one right now. You just say it.
I can change my name right now and say whatever. Yeah, I could be a sponge if I chose to, right? And say I'm a sponge, But like I think that for men, or at least for me, I'll speak for myself. It took me a while to like figure out certain things in my role and how I want to do certain things in the life I want to live. And it took me a while to find my partner that also wanted to play her role in that match. It took me a while to find that puzzle piece. And everybody, it takes different. Some people, you find it in your early 20s, your 30s, your 40s. You might find it until you're 60. You find a person that kind of vibes with you and you guys are on the same page. Because I think it's very hard with all the distractions in the world and the money problems most Americans face, and money causes stress. It just does, right? Especially in relationships if you're married. It's hard to find that person that's going to really balance you. And it's never going to be perfect, but no, listen, I love being a man. I like the responsibility that comes with it. I think if you're a father, especially, there's added responsibility, added pressure. But I think that those things actually can make us better than we even think we can be, because you have to have something you're working towards. You have to feel pressure when you wake up. And I think women feel it too. But for me, at least in my lifestyle, I feel it every day. Pressure, 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 but it's good. Right. And I would not want to be a chick. I'm good. I'll be a dude. Yeah.
All right. So I guess it's not that bad. We'll be, I mean, in terms
of, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
What makes it the way it should be, and it's not, is that many us men need guidance. We need to learn how to do it. We need to learn how to handle this. Usually you learn it from another man. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these men that's growing up without a father figure, that's where the big issues come. They don't know how. They're only in the household with a woman, all that feminine energy.
That's a good point. Yeah.
You go out there, you bump into one of them, they're ready to fight, they're flipping out, very emotional. That's not how a man will behave. But they don't know because that man wasn't around. That's why many of the athletes, if they don't have the father in the household, they're thinking the coach or the dude in the church. They're thinking some strong figure that they steer them the right way. Because sometimes you don't really listen to a woman, even with your mom. But you listen to your father. His father says you better stop. You're like, oh yeah. I mean, he could take me physically, so I guess I have to stop. Compared to, sometimes your mom. So I think that makes a lot of sense. It's a thing. It's something we're going to be always thinking about, obviously going through. But if we could find a way to find a community, like I said, you talked about this lots of time, of men to go, kind of express yourself, get some feedback. You're not bothering a chick with your problems. Not every problem need to be ran over. Hey, just hurt, and then the woman's like, all right. Well, if you're the woman, then what am I doing here?
I could not agree with you more. I think I think too many people sometimes put too much of their shit, whether it's significant or not, but small things on there. Us men do it to our partner, our wife, our girlfriend, whatever. Yeah. And if it's too much, you got to have them.
They're not therapists.
Only another dude can relate to you as a man. So I'll ask Hannibal, dude, I need your advice on this. Like, give me your opinion on this, right? Or I'll ask another friend, right? But I'm not going to ask my sister that. I'm not going to ask Madison that all the time. Sometimes I will, but there are certain things only a fellow man is going to give you the true perspective, because he is walking in your shoes. And we should be surrounding ourselves with men that could empower us, uplift us, relate to us, right? So I think it's a great point that you bring up.
Yeah. And before we end it, Hector just brought up a really good point. Your diet, taking care of your body. We have all the tools. I mean, we have YouTube. They have all the information possible. Do we use it? I'll say right now, I do not.
As I drink a beer.
Pedro drinks alcohol. Getting drunk right now. So your diet, your what you eat, also what you listen to, what you watch. Yes. If you're always in situations where you're around a bunch of complaining crab ass people, you will become one. It's like you have to surround yourself with that. So it's not just your diet, what you put in your body, but what you surround yourself with. So, I'm sure there'll be more weird situations. I mean, Adam 22, I think he'll be fine. I know it's probably bothering him though. Like he's good. Like you see, it got bothered because again, why you should have told his wife, don't get the biggest, tallest black guy. How about you just get like a regular white guy? Because I bet you, all in hindsight, they were like, we should have went with a different guy.
Maybe, but it's a business for them too.
Yeah,
this is a business, guys, right? And I think they're making.
Is it enough money to deal with shame or embarrassment or the cringeness of your decision?
Well,
Like,
I
is
think
there enough money someone can hand you to say, here, a big
it's a
black
good
guy is
question.
gonna run with your wife or your
Yeah, that's a
girlfriend?
great
Here's
question.
here's
Mm,
okay. What's the
no,
like $1 million,
I no,
2 million,
no,
10?
no. Well, maybe tens. I don't. That's a great question, man. I think it's tough, man.
That's an
Because
indecent
that's life
proposal type
changing
shit.
money. That's life changing money for
Yeah,
an hour, 30 minutes, 5 minutes. That's life
yeah.
generational. 10 million. You can do a
But
lot with 10 million. But also, yeah. What's do you value your soul and your spirit and your relationship, or do you value money? So it's a
that,
whole.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
tough. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
10 million is a lot of money. That's
A
a
lot of
lot.
money. Uh,
It's
it
a
is what
lot.
it is. But okay, we'll and then also maybe we'll get Pedro to review the video and he'll break down
I'm not reviewing the video.
everyone know.
You can do
That's
that
what
though. I'm good. Or
I'll
maybe
probably
Nova. Nova can. I think Nova's probably. I bet Nova. If you're still here, I would bet $10 because we all gamble here. I bet Nova's seen that video already. If it's out, I'm sure.
I don't think it's out yet.
Oh,
I mean, what's the point? Don't put it out now, just because everyone is clowning you anyway. So you might as well build up the
yeah,
anticipation.
yeah,
Put it
yeah,
on
yeah.
OnlyFans. Someone's gonna rip it and steal it and put it on the internet anyway. You might as well make
Oh,
the
it has
most
to be
out
on.
of it.
They're gonna put it on their OnlyFans, and they're gonna make a
Yeah.
lot of money by doing that. Yeah.
Bobby says you have to watch the clip once a week for page to 110 million. Yeah, Noah's not paying for it.
I ain't paying for it.
Dude,
No.
in a week, someone's gonna rip that off the whatever
Oh, it's gonna be.
OnlyFans, and
It's
it's
gonna
gonna be
be
on the internet.
places.
So don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
it's gonna be places.
On that note, we kind of went long talking about pornography. I just had an idea, man. We haven't talked about Nas in a minute. I know we did our top 5 Nas albums all time. I think I was called a casual. I still remember that. Still painful,
Yeah,
but
that's
whatever.
crazy because looking back, I think if I'm being honest, I think your list was better than mine. I think it was more thought provoking than mine. I thought mine was more generic than yours. So I do need to say that.
I think people love it was written more than I thought, because I think you had yours pretty high
Mm-hmm.
and I had Elmatic, but people really love it. What was it? I think you had it pretty high. It was written, or which
No, it was number one for me.
yeah, people
Yeah,
and I
I
went
love
back
that
to. I'm
album.
like,
I love that album.
yeah, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of his biggest popular hits was If I
Yes.
Rule the Roll. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, I can see that. But we didn't really talk about what is your top 5 Nas songs
Oh, that's hard.
of
Shit.
all time. So I think
We
I
get
don't know if
into
you
that
I don't
on
know if you're
Wednesday.
able. Could you do that Wednesday, or should we do that next Monday? Do you think you could think of the top 5 Nas songs of all time in 2 days?
Yeah, I could do it because I'm going to
You
be
could do it.
working tomorrow, and I'll listen to some music, so I
Yeah.
can do it. Yeah,
This
that's
this
a good
this
one because Nas has
spans
got,
I don't know how
dude,
many
that's
albums, but
and
what
he's got
is
so many like good ones recently. He got a couple really
yeah.
good bangers recently. You're gonna have to. There's a lot of catalog to go through. So
We will see. I think I was thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, if I could come up with the top 5 Nas songs.
dude, give me.
Number 5 is definitely that song he did with Genuine. You Owe Me. I think that was like a really brilliant
Bro,
song.
stop trolling me, man. Stop.
Yeah, that was not a. If it was the top 5 work, that song wasn't even that
Listen,
bad.
I will
But
say
God,
this.
that was weird.
I've mentioned this before. We've mentioned it. Nas has got some duds. He does. He's got some songs that are like, man.
I would say his worst
Some of his
album was
collabs.
Nostradamus, right? Nostradamus had like a bunch of he didn't want to put any effort in that song in that album. I
Yeah,
don't know.
you're probably right. He's got, but most of his bad stuff is like collabs. Him doing something with somebody else, like Uchi Wally Wally Bang Bang. Like he's got these songs.
I
that are just
listened to that
what's
song more
going on?
times than I probably fifth kid to.
Yeah, it's catchy.
She's a
hook, but
freaky.
it's-
Yeah, it was it's a sex song. But yeah, he
Yeah.
did not do well in that one.
He's still the GOAT. I mean, I look at certain things now with hip hop, and people talk about like current guys, and I see certain top 10 lists, and like I see guys. I don't see Nas at number 1 enough, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I just don't. I see Andre 3000 up there a lot, which is fine. You see like a Lil Wayne, you see a Biggie, a Pac, you see these other artists, and the new guys are like J. Cole's great or Kodak Black. I'm seeing these lists. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and Nas is like buried at number 8, number 7, number 6. And I
Yeah,
just don't.
that's true.
I don't get
That's
it.
true.
I just don't get
The
it.
young generation, especially if you're a little younger than you think. Some people really think like Lil Wayne is like one of them, right? And I can't even argue with that. He's definitely. I don't
can't
think Lil
argue.
Wayne is in my top 5.
Yeah,
But and Jay-Z, people throw a lot of Jay-Z up there too.
they do.
And there's times like Nas handle Jay-Z at least
Absolutely.
one-on-one, right?
Looking back on it, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this is gonna be a real tough one, but it's gonna be a fun one. I think. Drop some hip hop talk because I think the NBA stuff is gonna be kind of slow until things kind of turn up. I know next month is probably I think NFL
NFL's
training camp and everything.
August. Yeah.
So again, you still gotta figure out the bets, man. Bears, Giants. We'll think about it. You have time. It's okay.
Don't sleep on the Bears, man. Do not sleep on the Bears.
I probably will. Okay. On that note, as Pedro finishes his beers and passes out, we'll talk to you guys on Wednesday. Have a good night. Peace.